Yeah. Another episode of Victory Talk. You know, I was thinking, in order to ensure victory, perhaps, just an idea. Perhaps I should just go ahead and change the time to 7:15. That way I know I'll be on time. But close enough. We're close enough to 7. Hey, it's a genetic predisposition. Don't blame me. Listen, let's get into the episode. I don't know about y'all, man, but doesn't that intro get you riled up? Make you want to go scale a mountain? Make you want to go jump out a moving car? Get into an adventure? That's the kind of stuff I do for fun. For fun, I made like you know, I know you guys like to relax by playing video games, jerking off, simping on hoes, OnlyFans, but me, I'll do some shit like you know what I'm saying, rescue people out of burning buildings. That's how I like to unwind. You know what I'm saying? But welcome to Victory Talk, another episode. This is the podcast where we talk all about how to build your money, muscle, and your mindset. Right? Money, muscle, and mindset. Help you get right, because those are the 3 things you need. Those are 3 things you need in life, you know. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our sponsor. Yeah, this episode of Victory Talk, we got a sponsor. Yeah, Thot Repellent. Thot Repellent. This is what you need to keep the hoes away from you, man. They're gonna try to throw you off your grind, you know, especially when you're really balling and you're really strong and muscular. You got a bunch of money, shitload of money. What they gonna do? They ain't gonna have no choice. It's not even their fault, but they gonna flock to you. They gonna try to throw you off the grind. These hoes is out here doing recreational drugs. You know what I'm saying? All these hoes want to do is drugs, go to clubs, be bisexual, wash their pussy in the sink, all types of wild shit that's gonna throw you off your game. That's what Thot Repellent comes in. Keep them hoes away. Thot Repellent. Keep them hoes away. All right. All your super chats go to the research and development of Thot Repellent for sure. Hey man, I got a lot I want to get into today. Right. And I think we just gonna hop right in it. You know what I'm saying? And I want to talk about some things. Some people call them habits. Some people call them habits that will help you be successful in any endeavor in life. Let's get into it. Habits of a winner. No más agua para hombre. No agua. I forgot my water. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if I can think without this shit. Don't worry. I'll have it soon. Man. In no time. I'll have it. It's my fault. Hey, man. Hey. Psst, we back. Mucho agua para hombre. Now I'm ready to ball. Thank you. All right, check it out. Today I want to talk about, in this video, I'm going to explain how working out, getting your diet right, and getting into shape will actually help you make more money. Because we all know that, you know, if you're in good shape, you're following regular diet and exercise, you'll live longer and you'll be healthy. Who gives a fuck about that? Let's talk. That shit doesn't matter if you're broke. You want to live a long, poor life? That sounds dreadful. Poor motherfuckers can't wait to die. But if you balling, you want to live long as possible, right? So it only matters if you balling. Here's the thing: working out, getting your diet right, and getting in really good shape will actually help you make more money. And I have a lot of research that will make that a lot more obvious in it. I have a lot of research I'm gonna share with you that will, explain that and make that a lot more obvious to you. I got studies and shit. I actually prepared for this. Yeah. Most of the time, we just turn on the camera. I start talking. Next thing you know, it's on the internet. People love it. That's you. That's our normal workflow. Turn on the camera. Brandon yells at the camera. Millions of followers, subscribers. That's been our whole business model. Actually prepared for this one. It's funny, but it's not a joke. So there's a few ways where fitness, working out, money will help you make. There's a few ways where fitness, working out, diet, exercise, getting in great shape will actually help you make money. Right? And we're going to get into them right now. The first one is something called the halo effect. Halo effect. Full disclosure, my handwriting and spelling leaves a lot to be desired. There's a variety of reasons for this. One being the Chicago public school system. It's not that good at teaching, but it's really good. It's not that good at teaching academics. It's really good at raising gang members and future criminals. But as far as teaching, there's a lot of room for improvement there. Also, people around here are laughing, but I don't think it's at what I'm saying. I think something else is happening. Also, I have been diagnosed with dyslexia, right? So that's part of the reason why my handwriting and my spelling kind of looks like, I don't know, maybe it's like a toddler just got out of prison, did cocaine for the first time, and then started making YouTube videos where he's had to draw and write. It's kind of what it's going to look like. Don't worry about it. If you make fun of me, it's a hate crime because I have a disability. All right. Anyway, halo effect. Okay, hold up. Get my bearings together here. Okay, so here's the thing. The halo effect is a psychological cognitive bias where when people look better, when someone looks better, people attribute all sorts of other positive attributes to that person. For example, somebody may, a guy or a girl may look better. Let's say you start watching some of Brandon Carter's old fitness videos and you start getting in great shape. You look fantastic. You start looking fantastic, and and then people will start thinking of you a lot more positively for a lot of reasons. They start thinking that you're smarter. This has been proven by science. right? She's in love. And people actually think you're smarter if you look better. Oh, start over. You know, people start to attribute these positive aspects to you. Matter of fact, I want to change this. Sorry, editors. You're gonna earn your money today, editors. You're gonna earn that paycheck for this one. So, and I've noticed this throughout my life because I've been a personal trainer for over like 25 years. Like I'm 40 years old now. So I've been a trainer since I was a teen. Like, so when most of you guys were like watching Teletubbies, shitting on yourselves, jerking off to Barney, I was training 10 people a day in the gymnasium. Fun fact, that's how I got the name Gymnasium Jesus. That's what people started calling me that. Gymnasium Jesus. Anyway, so when Gymnasium Jesus started training people, what I noticed was different aspects of their lives would start to improve. For example, people would start to get promotions, or their business would start to improve, or they would start to actually do better in life financially as well as physically, right? And there's a lot of evidence to corroborate that. For example, several studies have found in several studies have found that the halo effect is real. So basically, they show that when people, here's a study right here. Excuse me. We're waiting for it to load. Yeah, it's taking its time. What's on the screen? Oh, here we go. Let me accept those cookies. Cookies. All right. They examined the halo, the examining the attractiveness halo effect across different countries and cultures, right? And I'm not going to read this whole shit, but basically, I read it before, and what it said was that people tend to trust people who are more attractive, who are rated more attractive. So they would take sample sizes of people and they would rate their attractiveness. They would have like different groups of people rate their attractiveness. And the people who got the highest ratings of attractiveness, right? When they were rated by another group of people on like different aspects and different attributes, they appeared to be more trustworthy. They appeared to be more competent, and they and and people said they would prefer to work with them as opposed to their ugly ass counterparts. Right? And we can go even further than that. Here's a study that shows that this is kind of crazy. This is kind of crazy that jurors are less likely to believe that an attractive person would even be capable of criminal behavior. So they're more likely, let me accept these cookies. They're more likely, they're more likely to acquit. They're more likely to acquit someone based off their physical attractiveness. This is a study that went in depth on that, right? Which explains which explains why I've never been convicted of a crime in my whole life. And then, but that's just like showing how the halo effect works in general, right? Let's dig down a little deeper, right? So here's a study from the Journal of Economics and Physiology, and it found that on average, attractive food servers earn significantly more tips than their ugly ass coworkers. They didn't say ugly ass. I'm paraphrasing. Now, that shouldn't come as a shock to anyone, right? I ain't tipping an ugly bitch nothing. Right? But here we go. Right. And this this study goes into depth on that. And the reason that's relative is because being a server or a waiter is a sales job, at least in America. In America, it is. If you're in Europe or anywhere else where where the servers don't have a tip-based payment system, then it's whatever. They don't even give a fuck if you get your food or not. They getting paid by the hour, man. They don't give a fuck what happens. But in America, I've been a server before. And in America, your job as a server is to get that bill as high as possible. So you got to memorize. So you got to be good at it. You got to memorize the bill. I'm sorry. You got to memorize the menu and then come up with good suggestions for the people. Know what wines pair best with each meal, with each entree. And make the dude feel inferior if he doesn't purchase it. Right. So you get that bill up so you get a higher tip. So it's basically a sales job, right? But this one shows that, man, it's the number one factor that determines how much a server's going to make is how good they look, right? But that can be extrapolated to any sales job. If you don't believe me, let's look at this. Let's take it outside the realm of sales, right? So here's a study that showed that this is a study that really demonstrates the halo effect. So they had a group of people rate the physical attractiveness of students, right? I'm assuming these were adult students. And hopefully they weren't saying these toddlers were hot or nothing like that. I'm assuming these were adult students, and they were rating the physical attractiveness of these students, right? And this from the University of Chicago, man. I was born in their hospital. So that's how you know. That's how you know. That's how you know they pumping out good stuff all the time, right? They have a history pumping out dope shit. Starting in 1982. That's when the legacy was built. I digress. The University of Chicago study, they had a group of people rate the attractiveness of students, right? Okay. Then they judged those students' test scores. They had them take some tests in person. Then they had them take some different tests only online, right? A variety of different tests. The more attractive students, the students who were rated more attractive, got better scores in person and worse scores online. And the data was significant, which means that some of this was bias on the fact of some of this reflected a bias that the teachers had towards the hotter kids. All right. And if you think that might sound far-fetched, well, you'd be wrong again. Because you'd be wrong again, as usual. Because here's another study that shows that the effects of physical attractiveness on teachers' expectations. Basically, the teachers would expect the more attractive. This is a different study on a different group of Hopefully not kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You got to read, study, find out the age groups. But basically what they said was that the students who were rated to be more attractive had the teachers had higher expectations of those students, and they interacted with those students more frequently and more positively, and that also reflected in their grades, right? So it stands to reason, I can keep going, right? But it stands to reason that people treat you a little different when you are more attractive. And I don't think that that's novel information. I mean, but I don't think people think about it as it pertains to getting this money. But it's true. But people just they like you a lot more. They like you a lot more when you're the more attractive you are. And working out makes you more attractive. But not only do they like you more, they actually perceive you actually give the procedure you actually give the perception that you're smarter, right? And that and they can trust you, and they actually like you more. Right. And that's where the halo effect comes in. So it stands to reason if you want to have a strategic advantage in all aspects of life, but especially in business or even in just the workforce, you want to amplify your physical attractiveness as much as you can. And the easiest way to do that is to get into amazing shape. Get in the best shape you can. And later on in this video, I'm going to give you a foolproof, rock solid plan on how you can accomplish that in record time. And I won't even charge you anything. Like the video, subscribe, and do all that shit in advance of the greatness that I will bestow upon you shortly. Let's move on. The second way, that actually getting in great shape helps you make more money is it builds what? Confidence. I'm sweating bullets hoping I spell this right, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. Did I do it? I did it. I did it. I did it. Gymnasium Jesus is a gymnasium Jesus miracle. All right. Confidence. Right, you build more confidence when you start to get in shape. And the very first time I experienced this is when I started working out. I started working out when I was around 16 years old. And I got sent away to military school when I was a kid. I got in some trouble. You get in fucking just a few shootouts, and then your parents just go crazy and send you away somewhere else, miscarriage of justice. I digress. So I got sent away to military school, and I was there on some sort of affirmative action kind of thing. They needed more blacks or something, right? And I was one of the only lower income kids there, and I was definitely one of the only black kids there. And the kids would make fun of me. I was skinny at the time, and they would make fun of me for being skinny, black, and poor. I don't think they were racist. I think they were just jerks. Kids are assholes. Some of you are some kid assholes right now watching this. The demographics suggest that that's the case. So I would get into fights a lot. Sometimes I lose, sometimes I win. I won most of those fights. I only lost one one-on-one fight in my life, that guy's doing life in prison. He's a murderer. True story. Anyway, I was getting a lot of fights. And I wanted to get better at fighting. That's why I started lifting weights. Like a lot of you guys want to get girls, or you want to be healthy, or you want to go to the NBA. I wanted to get better at violence. I wanted to get more efficient at violence. And I started working out. And I had a trainer. One summer I went home, and I had a trainer. His name was Aaron Muhammad. He was he was voted best trainer in Chicago like 2 years in a row. He was a friend of the family. So he trained me for free at Bally's Total Fitness. I don't even know if that shit exists anymore. Some old school shit, some 90s shit. And I made a lot of progress over that summer, like, to get those newbie gains. And I came back and I was like, I can't wait for one of these motherfuckers to talk shit. Guess what? They didn't want to fight no more. They didn't want to fight no more. Funny how that works, and it wasn't that I made these a huge amount of gains. It was just one summer, right? It was the fact that I was more confident. I was more sure of myself. Predators look for prey. And I noticed that I was just significantly more confident, and my grades improved, everything improved. And some of those little asshole kids started asking me to help them train. So instead of having to beat their ass all year, like I had planned on doing, I ended up training them. And guess what? They stopped being little assholes too, because they became more confident. And that's what developed my love for training. This is why I went down this career path to be a trainer. And I would just notice that everybody I trained, if they came in depressed, if they came in with sometimes even like clinical depression, working out would almost always snap them out of it once they started making progress, right? And that's not just, evidence from the people I train. I don't just have evidence from the people who I've trained. I also have actual studies to corroborate that. I told you I prepared for this one. All right. So here is a study. Hold on for a second. Don't show me yet. So yeah, okay. So here is a study that shows that diet and that actual exercise. Here's a study that shows that exercise actually boosts self-esteem, and there's a direct relationship between someone's self-esteem, their self-confidence, and their self-concept. Right, the direct relationship between that and the amount of physical exercise they perform. Right? Here's another one. Let's do another one, man. This one shows the relationship between let me accept the cookies. These are the here's another study that shows the effects of physical exercise on self-concept and well-being. Basically, you don't have to read all that nerd shit. Working out will boost your confidence and your self-esteem and your well-being. But what the fuck does that have to do with getting this fucking money? Well, let's talk about it. Here's another study that shows that self-esteem may affect your salary and income just as much or more than your cognitive abilities. That's exactly what this study says on self-esteem and earnings. Except the cookies. Here's a self-esteem. Here's a study by Francesco Drago. This motherfucker sound like a fucking boxer or like an MMA character. It sound like a goddamn cartoon character. Fucking Street Fighter nigga. Anyway, he's a researcher. And his study shows that the better you feel about yourself, the more money you are likely to make. So it stands to reason, if self-esteem helps you make more money and working out helps you build self-esteem, then you should work out to make more money. Y'all see that connection? Y'all see how I drew that parallel? I told you I prepared for this. All right. right? So let's go. So when you start, confidence gets you more money, but also you'll feel better. And just think about it. Just think about it logically. If somebody's all sad, depressed, crying and shit, how much money you think they get? You got two guys. One's crying like a little hoe all the time, sad, droopy, right? The other one is super confident, got a Superman pose, superhero pose for the hoes every time you see him, right? He's super confident and he's fucking jolly and happy about life. Who do you think is gonna make more money? Who if the two people are salesmen, who's gonna make the most sales? If you have to do business with if you have to do business with one of them, which one are you gonna pick? Right? I think the choice is clear. Right? Now, the last one, before I get into how to actually do this, the last reason why working out, diet, and exercise help you make more money is respect. Right? Once you are actually in shape, you know what? Okay, yeah. Once you are actually in shape, what happens is people respect you more. People respect you more. And I didn't need to look up any fucking studies for this because I just want you to think about when you were a child, when you were a young man, and if you had posters of your heroes on the wall, were they fat, slobby looking motherfuckers? Honestly, like, or were they fucking strong, athletic men? When you see a statue of a hero, is he a fucking fat ass? Is he out of shape? You know what I'm saying? Does this guy have fucking titties? How many statues of men with titties have you seen? You know what I'm saying? Just think about it logically. When you look at you go to most of you motherfuckers ain't never been to Rome, right? Fucking poor. But if you ever go to Rome, you'll see all the statues, right? These motherfuckers are in fantastic shape. These are the people. I mean, I don't think we have to argue that. And people respect you more, but a part of it is because they know what it takes. Like everyone knows what it takes to get in shape. They know you have to be consistent. They know you have to be disciplined. They know you have to be dedicated, and they respect that. Here's the thing. All things being equal, you had to bet on two people to do business with. One's a fat fucking slob. The other is in good shape. He's in good shape. You can tell he works out. He's out there getting it, man. He's in good shape. Who are you gonna do? Who would you trust? Right? You gonna pick the motherfucker who looks like the Penguin from the Batman movie? Right? Or you gonna pick the guy who looks like me? Looking like the Oscar statue came to life. Looking like the guy from the Mr. Clean box jumped out of the box and started making YouTube videos. Who are you gonna pick? The real life Mr. Clean? The Wish.com Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Or you gonna pick the fat slob? Who you gonna pick? I think the choice is clear. You know what I'm saying? And but more importantly than that, you respect yourself. And this kind of goes to the self-esteem and the confidence part. but you respect yourself more, right? You respect yourself more when you get in shape, because to get in great shape, what do you have to do? You have to follow a regimen consistently. You have to, and I'll give you the whole fucking regimen later in this video. Don't you fucking worry. But you're gonna have to follow a diet plan every day. You're gonna have to follow a workout plan every day. You're gonna have to get enough sleep. You're gonna have to make all these little commitments to yourself, all these promises to yourself, and keep them. Right. And once you start keeping the promises that you make to yourself over a consistent basis, you start to what? You start to believe in yourself. You start to trust yourself. And that trust is what confidence is. See, sometimes people misconstrue confidence with self-love. Like, you should just be confident. No, you got to earn confidence. You can love yourself and still not believe in yourself. I love my son, but I don't trust him. Like, I wouldn't leave him alone overnight. No, matter of fact, the government doesn't even trust me, doesn't even trust him. Because if I left him alone overnight, I get put in prison. You know what I'm saying? You love your dog, but you wouldn't leave them alone over the weekend. You don't trust them. Hey, we leave all the food out all night. No, man, that motherfucker kill itself in no time. You know what I'm saying? Confidence you have to earn, right? And once you start keeping all those confidence to yourself on a consistent basis, right, you start to believe in yourself, and then you start seeing the progress from it. You start thinking, God damn, what the fuck else could I do if I put my mind to it, right? Right? And then that confidence is going to allow you to take bigger risks. It's going to allow you to face your fears. It's going to allow you to leave your comfort zone. And all that is mandatory as it pertains to getting this money. All of that is mandatory, right? So again, the reasons why working out will help you make more money, the halo effect. People will just like you better, or trust you more, and they'll believe in you more, right? And want to be around you, work with you more if you are in better shape. You'll have more confidence in yourself, and confidence, and studies show that there's a direct relationship between the amount of confidence you have yourself and the amount of money you make, and you'll feel better about yourself. There's another reason I forgot to mention, is that it's actually going to change you on a neurological level, right? You're going to, your actual hormones would change. I should put that in here. I should write that down. That's a good point. I'm glad I remembered to write that. I think I spelled it right, or close enough, right? So when you start working out, right? See, here's the thing: when a man's body fat percentage goes over 15%, his actual testosterone level starts to drop and his cortisol levels start to rise, right? Once you start getting in shape, start losing some of that nasty ass fat you've been carrying around, your testosterone levels will rise, your cortisol levels will drop. You'll also start releasing different endorphins, right? And your dopamine, you'll produce more dopamine, because that's what exercise does. It produces dopamine and other endorphins and other neurochemicals that actually make you feel better on a consistent basis, right? So that's important. Now, and also, people will respect you more, and you'll respect yourself more. All right. I think I made a pretty compelling argument. I think I made a pretty compelling argument for getting in shape to make money. Let me tell you how to do it. I know this is what you fat Nick has been waiting for. All right. So here's the game plan. Super simple. Super simple. One, before I get into this, I want to be clear. This is going to work for every mammal. I don't care what your genetics are. I don't care what kind of predispositions you have. I don't care about you having a fat mama. I don't care what it is. This will work for every mammal, possibly reptiles. I've never trained a reptile. So it's just a hypothesis at this point, but I know it'll work for all mammals. Here we go. Number 1, you're going to get yourself a fitness tracker. Something like, something like an Apple Watch or a Whoop band, or the Oura Ring, or even a Fitbit. It doesn't fucking matter. I used to wear it. I wear my Apple Watch sometimes, but I don't wear it all the time, man, because this don't track my heart rate, but it raises your bitch's heart rate. All right. Okay. So that's why I use the Oura Ring to track my calories. This will track how many calories you are burning every day. This is very important, right? Number 2, you're going to track your calories. Oh, shit. Let me slow down. You're going to track your calories. I'm going to get it. Eventually, I promise you that. Your calories and macros. You're going to do that with MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal. Track your calories and your macros, right? And most of you motherfuckers are fat. So you want to be in a 500 calorie, at least a 500 calorie deficit every day. If you do that, you'll burn 3,500 calories per week. And you need to burn 3,500 calories to burn a pound of fat, right? And then this is how it looks mathematically. All right, this is how it looks mathematically, right? So you're going to go in there. Let's say that the average male burns somewhere around 2,500 calories a day. So we're just going to do this for simple math. 2,500 calories. Let's say you're doing that every day. Don't guess, motherfucker. Get the fitness tracker. This is just an example, you lazy fuck. That's why you fat now, man. I hate you. All right. So we're going to burn 2,500 calories per day, right? Hey, remember I said you got to be in a 500 calorie deficit, right? So if that's the case, then you're going to consume no more than 2,000 calories a day. It's real simple. And just track it. Just fucking track it. Dumbass, right? You just track the shit. Boom. 3,500 calories. That's a pound of fat. You do that every week. You'll burn a pound of fat a week. You do that 10 weeks in a row. You'll burn 10 pounds of fat, right? And let's say man, I can't eat that much. Hey, man, how much you want to eat, fat boy? How much you want to eat? You want to eat you want to eat 30,000, man? No problem, fat boy. I got you. I mean, you want to eat 3,000? No problem. All you got it now. You're just gonna have to up your fucking calorie. You're gonna have to up the calories you burn, but that's gonna be significantly harder. That's the thing. It's difficult it's easier to limit your consumption than it is to just burn. Right? It's easier to limit your consumption than it is to burn calories, right? But it's possible, right? You could do it if you just got that kind of appetite, motherfucker. Doesn't matter what the numbers look like, as long as you're burning as long as you're in a 500 calorie deficit every day. But you won't know that unless you have a fitness tracker. I don't know why more of these fucking YouTube fitness assholes don't tell you that you have to use one of these. I don't know why they don't. They all say, all you got to do is be in a caloric deficit. They fucking shout that shit. They yell at me for doing keto. I never told you to do keto. That's just what I do, dumbass. But they yell at me for doing keto and they say, you just got to be in a caloric deficit. Well, how come you're not telling these motherfuckers to track how much they're burning? What are they going to guess? What are they going to guess? Hate you. Anyway, You do this, you'll stop being fat. You'll burn a pound of fat every week. And you can pump them numbers up if you want. And here's the thing, bro. I do this shit right now. So I'm gonna pull up my current habit tracker. I think I am. Hold on, let me see. I know my man Romulus is in the cut. I just got to finish this. I'm sorry, Romulus. Give me a second. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up my habit tracker to show you that I'm actually walking this walk. Boom. I'm not gonna show you everything, but I will show you just this because I'm tracking a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't even. All right, yo, think you can show it to him now? All right, so here's my shit for this month, right? And I got the same kind of thing. Just set up. This is calories I burn, and because I've been in maintenance mode up until yesterday. I started a cut. I kept my calories super low, and I consumed 212 grams of protein. I weigh about 208 right now. Right, I burned that many calories, 3,000. Boom, I'm in a huge deficit. Right. So what I gave y'all was like the pussy shit. That's like the fucking basics. Right. I'm going a lot harder. I started my cut yesterday. Right, and then check this out, Nima. This is very important. You want 1 pound. You want 1 pound of protein per pound of body weight, right? Right. Take your body weight in pounds. Sorry, fuck, I'm fucking this up. Whatever. Stop. Just change this. If you want the body weight, take your body weight in pounds, multiply it. Take your body. I'm tripping. Something happened. I got distracted. Right. You want 1 pound of protein per pound of body weight. Right. So if you look at my habit tracker, I'm getting like way more than that. You want at least that. I'm averaging weight. I'm averaging about that. Right. I'm averaging about that. So that's good. Right. So you want to track this shit, man. It's all math. It's all math. And then you might be thinking, hey, what workout should I do? Don't even trip. Here's the thing. The beauty of it is you can do anything. Literally anything. Like everything works. Everything works. I've been a trainer for over 25 years. And I'll tell you, anything works, especially if you a fat motherfucker. Right? You just smash off the street. I can just take any workout from any magazine randomly, give it to you, and you'll get results. I promise you. But I'm gonna make it real easy for you. You're just gonna go to this website. You may have heard of it. It hasn't been in the news that much. It's called ChatGPT. Hold on, let me take off my login. And all you're gonna do is, hey man, you're gonna tell ChatGPT, you can put it on now. Hey asshole, write me a fuck. What? Oh, sorry. I hit the wrong. Write me a 5-day workout plan. Bam. Change it to fucking 3 days. Change it to whatever you want to do, whatever amount of days. Hey, look at this. This is fine. This is fine. This is great. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't matter. You can change it to 4 days. You can change it to 3 days. Right? Hey, check it out. Make it 4 days a week. It's going to be like, all right, lazy motherfucker, here you go. Here's the 4-day a week workout plan. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Super simple. Because anything will work. It doesn't really fucking matter. The most important part is your calories. If you do that, you'll get in shape and you will be able to actually experience all the benefits of being in shape, the halo effect, the improved confidence, the improved respect you get from others, and the well-being. All right. Hey, like this video. And sorry, I know my man Romulus is here, man. All right, like this video. I hope that was helpful. And I got some more videos around here that you'll love just as much as this one, if not more. All right. Hey, guys, I want to get to your super chats, and we're going to do that after my man Romulus comes through with the market update. Let's go. Yo, what up, what up, what up? Will you hear my man Romulus with the market update?
Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you happen to be listening, watching, checking this out from. A question: the ring right there that you got, the health fitness ring, is that also tracking? You mentioned this. You can track your calories in. It's on all your packaging. It's in all your recipes. You can get this figured out. But the calories you burn, that's out there. Is that measuring that?
This is what measures that, the ring. So you can do that with with the Oura Ring. Right. There's a band called Whoop. There's a Fitbit. There's a lot of devices that actually measure that, and it's really cool because we didn't even have that in the 90s when I first started working out. I think people should be taking advantage of this technology.
Yeah, no, back in the 90s we were running rocks up hills.
You know what I'm saying? Pushing chariots. And
Don't worry about all the technology, man. It was either do that or the lion eat your ass, and then you get moving. So it was a different kind of world back then, but we still got it done. And tracking is important. We talk about this. We don't do it every single week, but we definitely talk about it. I mention it all the time. You got to track your money too. You got to track your investments. You got to track your trading. You got to track your financial footprints. You need to pay attention to this. Brand, if I lined up 1,000 people, all right, and I said, do me a favor. Tell me with some reasonable estimation where your current bank account is and what you've spent your money on in the past 2 months. 80% of them would be so far off, they wouldn't even be in the same stadium as the real answer.
I can tell you the exact numbers to all of that. I track everything.
You got to absolutely have to understand. I'm not suggesting you sit there and every single penny you got to memorize. Okay, that's a little bit, but you have to understand what's going on with your money. That's one of the chief contributors to long-term success. The major corporations. You think Apple's out there? Do you think Microsoft? Do you think IBM? These famous companies that have been around for decades, and sometimes like a Procter and Gamble's case, centuries almost, that they're just out there acting from the hip. They're not paying attention to this stuff. They've got teams. They've got office buildings that are full of people who do one thing and one thing only: track.
If you're not tracking, you're slacking.
All right. If it's that important to these companies and they are at the level where they are, don't you think that you should act the same way today? Even though, Romulus and Brandon, I'm not rich like a guy like at Apple. Well, listen, Tard, do you want to get there?
Yeah, come on, man.
Okay. If you want to get there, then why don't you emulate others that are already there? Oh, wait a minute. Did I just invent a new secret sauce? No. All right.
Yeah.
Mirroring is one of the greatest success hacks in life. I know you probably don't even talk about that much, Brand, but I know you do it and have done it. So mirroring, copying what works, and copying the idea of tracking your trading behavior, tracking your activity. All I have to say about that is duh.
Yeah. And you know what else, man? When you pull up these charts, like you about to in a minute, we track the market. You know what I'm saying? It's like tracking the market. And then it's even cooler because we get the graphs and we get a track of price action over a period of time.
Here we go. So you give it a second. Boom.
Boom. We right there.
So look, we've been having a long string of these Tuesday night conversations. And really since the middle of July, maybe about, what it was? I didn't come on 4th of July because I was out there doing some firework thing or other. You were on that night.
You doing your thing. Yeah.
And it was from then on, the next week. So that would have been the 11th, 12th. Right from there on, since last week, we've been talking about do not chase these tech stocks. Do not just go running dumbly into that tech good night.
I remember you saying that
again and again and again and again. Unless you want to just keep sliding down this slope. Okay. Unless you want to just keep slipping slowly beneath the waves that's happening out there. I'll come back to that cue. I'll come back to the major tech market in a minute. But everybody, you might have heard of this. You mentioned a website resource that kind of unknown, but might be coming up pretty soon, called ChatGPT.
Yeah, some people I know it doesn't get a lot of press.
It might be coming up, right?
Yeah.
I'm here, get it first. So here's another stock idea that you may never heard of, called Tesla. Okay? The most heavily owned retail stock in the world right now is Tesla.
Really?
Has been like that for a long time. And here it is again, slowly slipping further and further beneath the waves.
Yeah. Okay? It's well below the moving averages.
Well below the moving averages. That's a problem. Now we got a moving average cross. The blue line is now below the gold line.
That cross is scary.
It's starting to come about. And if you look at what's going on here, I'm going to show you more of this in a second. Come back to the tech market here, which is where the triple Qs is where a lot of the big tech companies.
What line, just so we know, what moving averages are those that they cross?
The blue line is a 21. Most traders are going to use a 20-day moving average. Why is that? Because there are 20 trading days in a given month. We don't trade 7 days a week in the stock market. We trade on average 20 days, 5 days a week, 4 times 4. That's 20 days. I use a 21, and it's not just a simple moving average. It's an exponential moving average. It just is something that I was trained on many years ago. And I don't know if it provides any more of an edge, but I like it because I'm comfortable with it. And hey, that's what works.
Yeah.
It's close enough, though. They're not that far apart from a 20 simple moving average. So the gold
line is yellow.
The gold line is a 50-day moving average. And that is a little more significant. Obviously, it gives you a little bit of a longer term concept and idea. And now the NASDAQ 100, again, which is where all the big tech stocks.
I'm sorry, is that 50-day at EMA or
no, just the rest are simple.
Okay.
Reason being, you don't need an EMA for anything more than a couple of weeks because the significance of it slips away. And the difference between an EMA, an exponential moving average, and a simple moving average, anything over 30 days will kind of be the same. Okay.
You make yours gold because it's significant. It holds some serious weight.
It stands out, but it is significant. And here, look, you can see this for yourself. Let's get rid of the indicators on the bottom for now. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this is the NASDAQ 100. It blasts higher above the 50-day moving average. You see that January 11th.
Yeah.
This is now over 7 months ago.
Yeah.
It stays above it, with the exception of 1 day here. It stays above it from there on out until now. So you mean to tell me, all you fundamental traders out there that don't look at charts, that don't pay attention to technical analysis, that's not significant?
Yeah.
It is significant.
That means
Trust
something.
me, you want to pay attention. It doesn't mean the stock market is about to get bombed tomorrow. But as we've been suggesting to you since July 11th, there's a change of weather. There's a change of seasons. We've been saying this consistently. We've been beating the same drum week after week after week after week. We said this market was going down, and it is down. We told you not to go out there, rush out there and buy all these tech stocks, because all that would do is cost you money. You'd lose. And if you did that, you've lost money. You have not made money. So stop fucking around. Get into the Discord Legion now and start making some cash, because tomorrow night, Brandon, he's the guy who's smiling at you right now, and me and Laura Legatus, Greg, we have a free webinar tomorrow night.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, man, it's a free training, man. We're going to do tomorrow night, man. Just on
7 o'clock.
If we can explain some of these like concepts to you guys in more depth.
We'll get to talk in more detail. We're going to go a little bit of long, kind of long form. We love doing this every couple of weeks. We have a great time with it. We love teaching people. We love introducing people to Legion. Okay, so we see the problems are developing. There's a change of seasons happening. Right now, there's enough evidence to suggest that things are not simply going to boom right back higher when NVIDIA comes out with their earnings. It's the only tech stock that's got any news coming out of significance. I mean, Salesforce is the same day. But let's face it, all eyes, and I mean all eyes, are squarely focused on NVIDIA. NVIDIA did have a good day yesterday, but it's not enough to save the entire market. Why not? Because Apple is still 2.5 times, 2.7 times the size of NVIDIA. 2.7 times the size of NVIDIA. And Apple's, having a problem.
Apple was kind of Apple and Microsoft were dragging the market up. And it looked like they may be dragging it down, right?
But that looks worse than Tesla even.
Yeah.
This is the second largest company in the world behind Apple. Okay, this company is about 1.3, 1.4 times the size of NVIDIA. So NVIDIA cannot single-handedly save the entire tech market if that's what you're waiting for. And please don't tell me that's what you're waiting for. Okay. It's not a good investment or trading strategy to buy a handful of these big, massively overextended tech stocks that are overvalued to the tune of almost being like 1999. That's how ridiculous these stocks are. Now, they might go a little bit higher. They might go a little bit lower over the next few days or few weeks, but the trend is down. Okay, there is now an official downtrend in the tech market.
Yeah.
And this flag was put in the ground by us on July 11th. We told you point blank. We didn't say if or this or that. We didn't use two hands like every other economist out there. We said this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And everything we said has happened.
As usual.
As usual. Okay. All right. So one little thing though that has caught my attention. This is kind of a fun one. People don't really know a lot about this. This is a measurement of fear. It's kind of a sentiment, which means mood, which means not so much actual trading, but this is a fear gauge or lack of fear gauge. So go back to the S&P 500. Here we go. Come on. There it is. I lost track of it in a second. So the S&P now closed. Oh, by the way, the S&P closed below the 50-day moving average for the first time since March.
That should give us all reason for concern. Yeah.
Definitely reason for concern. You can see the trend line. I mean, the 50-day moving average is so straight that it's serving as a trend line, and it's breaking the trend line. It's coming with a volume, a jump over yesterday. Most of the volume days dating back to April have been more bearish than bullish. Almost all of them, as a matter of fact, of the higher days have come on bearish moves over bullish upward moves. And that's an issue. But you see the S&P 500 trades at a 20-day low today. Therefore, it wouldn't be unusual to suggest that the VIX should have been trading at a 20-day high, and it hasn't. It hasn't. When that happens, I at least open my eyes and start paying attention. Okay. One of the clues, you may wonder, hey, Ramiz, how did you know the market was going to fall? Well, this was one of the clues. You go back to the S&P 500. You see how it's going higher and higher and higher. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Come back to the VIX. But the VIX doesn't go any lower. It stalled out. It was stopping at that support area right there. It stops. S&P goes higher. VIX should be going lower, but it didn't. Yeah. That was one of my clues that I knew this market was going to start falling. This right here. So it can be a very good indicator. It's not foolproof. We don't commit SIM, which is called single indicator mistake. That's a trademarked and copyrighted phrase that I coined. So if you want to use it, just contact me first. I'd be glad to discuss it with you for a small fee. Okay. So the VIX does not go higher. The S&P does go lower. So this could be something we want to watch, but I don't think that's going to save the market for the next several weeks. We are in an intermediate term downtrend, and I think there's nothing going to save it. It's just got to run its course. It's got to run its course. Again, day to day, week to week, the VIX could be saying that over the next few days or between here and NVIDIA, there could be a little bit of a market rally, but that's not going to save it between here and the end of October. We're going to be seeing lower prices over time. You want to talk more about this? You want to get into some detail? You want to learn with specific ideas how we do these types of this type of analysis? Join us tomorrow. It's a free webinar, 7 p.m. Eastern. Trust me on this one. You don't want to miss it. So we're going,
and you'll learn how to make money off of it. Like we're going to talk about how to make money off this activity that's happening.
Damn right, we're going to do that. All right, interest rates. Interest rates have been going higher. This is definitely a problem for the tech market. I don't personally want to be long tech stocks when you've got interest rates cranking higher like they have been. You know, the only higher point in the last 16 years in the 10-year was back here in the fall of 2022. Okay. You see the interest rate market moving higher. That means money is getting more expensive. Let's just think of it in that realm. Banks had a real problem today. As a matter of fact, this is what initiated the sell-off was the banking problem, because one of the credit rating agencies, this one is called Fitch, they declared that they're going to start downgrading the credit worthiness of a lot of major U.S. banks, including JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and others like this. My question to Fitch is, what in the hell has taken you so long?
Yeah.
Where have you been? Okay. Why weren't you anyway? That's a different story. But they're going to start
FLX, which is the ETF that represents the financial sector. That's right at the trend lines. What's it?
Yeah, that's a problem, right? That's a problem. So again,
your red one is the 200-day
moving average. This is a basket of regional banks. This is where the problems were with Silicon Valley Signature Bank and First Republic back in March. XLF is a basket of the bigger financial companies, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, and a handful of the big insurance operators. But the big financial companies, that had a pretty bad day. As a matter of fact, energy was the only worst performing sector out of all 11, and they weren't that far apart. So banking stocks definitely got crushed today. Again, that was the spark that kind of kicked off the selling today. But when you get selling like this, it's only a matter of time before another round of bad news. What happens during downtrends is investors just use news to sell. As opposed to what was going on up until about 5 weeks ago. They were using news to buy. Now they're looking for excuses and news to sell. And this is going to continue a day or two or a week or two counter trend moves notwithstanding. This is going to continue until we see buyers step in. And the volume analysis, which is the gas in the tank, tells us that so far, at least, the buyers are not responding. Okay. Now, the only stock out there that shows a buyer's response to a selling was this NVIDIA. You saw that it goes down for a couple of days and the buyer stepped right in. That's what it looks like. If you want to know what you want to see, but you want to see this across the entire market, everything. You want to see all small caps, mid caps, large caps, sectors, technology, communications, finance, real estate, everything. You want to see everything responding like this. One stock ain't going to do it. As a matter of fact, the risk that you carry by getting yourself carried away with investing or trading in NVIDIA right now before the earnings, because you're going to pat yourself on the back if it goes higher, is much more than you think. Okay? It's much higher than you think. You can make money and you can confuse luck with skill.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, people who are buying NVIDIA today, yesterday, or tomorrow in front of the earnings, and if the earnings do cause the stock to go higher, trust me, they'll be crowing, they'll be trumpeting, and my answer to that is you just confused luck with skill. Okay, because you're not paying, you don't know what's going on under the surface. You don't know what's going on in the closet or under the hood. And I suggest that you should know. And you can learn more about this tomorrow. Well, this is one of the hallmarks of the analysis that Brandon, Greg, and myself, this is what we offer everybody in the Legion. This is what they learn. They know how to, Brandon, he understands when I say what's going on under the hood, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to get into it today.
Yeah, no, I mean,
precisely what I mean.
When it comes to trading, like Romulus was my mentor, and he's helped me make a lot of money, and I'm really excited for us to share some of those ideas and some of those trading philosophies with you guys for free tomorrow. The link is in the description if you want to join. There's already almost like 1,000 people who signed up for that.
Oh, it's going to kill you. Yeah. So we a little side note here. My main analytical partner, Greg, he and I put this trade together. I don't know. Yeah. It was recent, right, Brandon? It hasn't been that long. Yeah. So not only is it crushing it for us, but we're able to collect rent on the sucker by using the option market. It's a cool strategy. We will talk more about that tomorrow as well. We do this fair amount, and man, it is it's like almost like printing money, isn't it?
Man, it's one of my favorite things in the world, honestly. Like it's like selling options as opposed to buying them is probably my favorite money making strategy.
This is called sleep at night, still make money strategy.
Yeah,
I'm at a point, Brandon, where I don't even want to buy anything at all, almost, unless I can do.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel the same way, man. I buy I've been buying my watches and stuff for the money I've been making from selling options. So I'm excited to teach this to these guys.
Yeah, and it's a great time for that as the VIX has gone higher. The prices that we're getting for our assets is also increased, which is always nice. I mean, I'm not going to walk away from that kind of free money, of course.
Of course not.
That's your status update, everybody. Appreciate the opportunity once again. Oh, and also, side note, even though we're doing our webinar tomorrow because it is at 7:00, we are still doing our Traders Town Hall. That's also another free event. We do it every Wednesday at 4:15, and it's only hosted in the Discord.
In the Victory Unit Discord. You got to join. If you're not part of the Victory Unit, then what are you doing?
Waste your time,
man. Come on, man.
Yeah. So
come on, man. Hey, Romulus, when you do those charts, man, I can listen to you do that all day. That's like you're a master technician, man. And we're honored to have you on showing the charts and stuff, bro.
Yeah, it's awesome fun. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for your gracious welcome, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, let's give Romulus a round of applause. That was phenomenal. I think I did a good job with the other segment, personally. I think I did a good job. I think I made a strong, compelling case. But you motherfuckers are still going to end up fat. The majority. Unless you take heed. Let's answer some super chats, if there are any. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention.
We have a few.
Nice.
We have Daily. You the man.
Oh, there's a lot of truth in that statement, Daily.
We We have Big Baller. How often are you checking your biomarkers to optimizing your health?
I'm on TRT, right? So I get blood work done every few months, and we're trying to optimize it. I actually just started working with 10X Health because the dude Gary, who like runs it, he like lives close. So, and it's cool because they bring in, instead of having to go to a hospital or to a lab, the nurse just comes over here and does everything, and like we're really working. I'm gonna have him on the podcast next time he's in Miami. Next time he's in Miami, he's gonna come and talk about health and all this other stuff, how he saved Dana White's life. Dana White was finna die until he called my man. You know what I'm saying? Then he got in really great shape and he's living, which is always cool. And there was nothing wrong with me, but I told him, listen, Gary, I'm not trying to fix anything. I'm trying to be the best I could be. What can we do? And we're going to talk about the protocol that he got me started on. But one thing he was looking at, I forget what it was called, but it's this one thing in my blood. And he was like, man, this is like really high. I almost never see this, man. You must never get sick. You probably never get sick, do you? And I said, nah, man. He said, yeah, like I can tell from this. This is like incredible. It's like one of the best levels I've ever seen of this one particular level. He can tell you better than I can tell you. But yeah, I'm fucking healthy as shit. Well, what else we got?
We have Concerned Black Man.
He's still concerned.
These episodes are helping me to become less concerned.
Hey, that's what I like to hear, man. He's gonna be confident and optimistic black man in a few weeks. He's gonna be positive, optimistic black man soon. I like to hear it.
Dylan, checking my bank account every morning has done wonders.
Yeah, man. Yo, you want to take it? Hey, Dylan. You want to take it to the next level? Sign up for something called mint.com. This is what I do. Mint.com. Link all your accounts in there, all of them. Right. And then categorize every transaction every day, incoming and outcoming. All right. I do it for myself and the business. So it's a lot of transactions. It takes like 5 minutes if I do it every day. If I let it pile up, it becomes a fucking project. But you do it every day. And then you really get a firm grasp of where your money's going, how what's happening. Like I can tell you exactly how much money I spent last month and what I spend it on. You know what I'm saying? And it's eye-opening. You're able to make better decisions. Mint.com. They don't pay me, but they should. Like a lot of these companies. What else we got?
We got Blackjack Mastery. How do you create brand awareness on IG besides ads? I started following people in sports betting pages, so they follow me back. How about creating additional IG marketing pages to follow 50 people a day on each and drive new traffic to main IG page?
That's a low leverage strategy, right? Both of those were low leverage strategies. And I'm not saying they wouldn't work, but they're just super low leverage strategies. Excuse me. I'd like to see you spending the same amount of time or effort and getting the higher return. And in order to do that, you're going to need some leverage. And the leverage I recommend you use is money. Oh. Hope they didn't hear that. Did that show up? My alarm? It's I Get Money by 50 Cent. My favorite song. It's one of my alarms. That was foreshadowing for something to come later on in this podcast. But what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, higher leverage shit. So I really think you should do the shout out strategy more consistently. Like come up with a strategy behind it, right? Because if you do it once or twice and say, oh, it works, or even if it works, or if it doesn't work, you got to get a large enough sample size of data to make a fair assessment on that. And you should like track it in the spreadsheet. Okay, I spent this much. I got this many followers, made this much money this week, right? And maybe make us, this is what you're going to do, Blackjack. This is what you're going to do, Blackjack. Man, I'm giving this motherfucker a free class every week. You're going to make us fucking spreadsheet or Google Doc. Boom. And each one is going to be a week, every week. And you're going to buy shout outs. And you're going to say, it's going to be number of shout outs, right? How much you spent. So money going out, right? Number of followers. how much money you made that week, right? And you're gonna fucking just do that every week. I'm not gonna draw this shit every week for you, but you know what I'm doing, right? And then maybe we'll have another one here. Profit. What's the profit, right? And then have the shit total up at the bottom. You put the formula so it's do it for like multiple weeks in a row, like because from what I understood, you did like once or twice a week, and you said it didn't work or some shit like that. But here's the thing: if you only do it, if I go shoot a 3-point shot right now and I make it, that doesn't mean I'm fucking Steph Curry, right? Because it's like the sample size of one is not statistically relevant. You get what I'm saying? Like I need to shoot 1,000 shots and then get the average to know, if I'm really good at 3-point shooting or not. I'm not. I can just tell you that right now. I used to play basketball in high school. I started on a team. I averaged like no points per game, but I led the league in both rebounds and fouls. I fouled out more than anyone, maybe in school history. That was my style of play. I was like Draymond Green, but like more violent. I'm like a violent Draymond Green. Anyway, do that, Black Mastery. Try that for a few weeks in a row. Seriously, we need to get data that's statistically relevant. What else we got? Anything or not?
We have Andre.
Big Andre.
This is the first part.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, BBC. I'm 23.
Mm-hmm.
My birthday was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I work 4 jobs and completed cybersecurity school. I'm trying to network with people in the field to get a 100K job. How would you find network with rich nerds based off your life experience?
Yo, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm an attractive motherfucker. I'm a model, a bouncer at 2 clubs. And I do client operations for a tech distributor. I used to sell cars prior. I have no parents, and I just want to say you validated my hustler's mentality.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you, bro. Here's something that kind of flies in the face of convention. But as it stands, I don't believe networking is really that helpful until you're successful. You get what I'm saying? Once you get a certain level of success, then networking starts to become valuable. But prior to that, networking will be kind of a waste of time for a few reasons. Number one, if you want to network, presumably it's because you want to advance your career in some capacity. And in order to do that, you believe that networking will help you get into the right places where people can help expedite your advancement. However, here's the rub. You're going to need something to offer them in exchange for that, right? Humans are always going to act in their own self-interest. If you just keep that in mind in life, everything would be so much easier for you, all your human relationships. Humans are always going to act in their own self-interest. Almost 100% of the time, right? Therefore, if you're not already at some level of success where you have value to offer the person in question, they won't be incentivized to help you. So if they do help you, now you're just hoping you get lucky and some good Samaritan helps you. And even that will be in their own self-interest because they'll get some sort of gratification or some sort of warm, fuzzy feeling by helping you, right? However, you don't want to rely on that. So if you're already not successful, you have nothing to offer, your highest leverage task right now is becoming successful enough that you have something to offer to the person who can help you, right? So you want to identify this person or this type of person that can help advance your career in some capacity and develop a skill set and or attain something of value that they would find helpful, right? Because if you meet them right now without that, they won't be incentivized to help you. They won't be incentivized to listen to you. You get what I'm saying? They won't give a fuck about what you are fucking talking about. And they shouldn't, man. They got shit to do. They're busy people. They're successful, not you. Not you, Andre. I'm just in general. I fuck with you, Andre. You a G. And I'm not just saying that because you spent $40, even though giving me money is the key to my heart. It's my love language. I digress, right? So if you go out there trying to network with nothing to give, then what are you doing? You're really going out there trying to extract value from these people, right? And even if you want to give value, if you don't have anything to give, then you have no choice but just to take from these people who you network with. You get what I'm saying? So that's part one. You want to build a skill set and or acquire something of value that can help the person who you think may be able to help you, or the kind of person who you think may be able to help you. And that doesn't necessarily have to be skill set. That's the easiest one to acquire. However, this guy says he's a bouncer at a club. The guy who asked this question said he's a bouncer at the club. You probably know some girls, some women. Meet them, be cool with them, right? And one of the easiest ways to network with guys is to introduce them to girls, introduce them to women. Like that's a strategy I've implemented plenty of times. I made friends with girls over the years, women, and just friends platonically. And I use that term friends loosely, but you know what I mean? I was friendly with them, and I would introduce them to people who I wanted to network with. Maybe it's people who I couldn't directly help. Maybe I didn't have enough value or enough skill set to help them. And I would just introduce them to some girls. And I tell you what, every single heterosexual male on earth likes to meet beautiful women. 100% of them. 100% of them. Every single heterosexual male would be delighted to meet some beautiful women. So if you are the plug for that, then that's your in to that relationship, And so number two is, once you have either the skill set or the assets that your target may find valuable, you want to offer that first, right? So if you're good at some sort of if you're really good at something, or if you know some people you can introduce them to, who can help them in some capacity, right? If you know some hot girls that you can introduce them to, or if you know some, there was one time, I'll give you an example. Like there's I want to think of a really good example. Oh, here's one. So I know a lot of because of my business, I teach trainers how to start online businesses, how to take their business online. So I know a lot of trainers. I know like a ton of trainers, a whole army, a legion of trainers. And there was this one guy a long time ago I wanted to do business with, but he was so far ahead of me economically that there was no value that I could really give him on the surface, right? But then I saw him post that he was looking for a trainer in New York, and I was able to introduce him to, a trainer, and it really helped him. And then next thing you know, me and this dude became cool, and we were able to get some things together, some business together in that regard, right? So it could be assets, it could be introducing people to other people, right? That's a form of value that you can add, right? If you can even introduce someone to someone who can help them, right? Then you kind of get credit for that, right? If you can make connections in that regard. So I guess you could say that networking would help like that, but I don't think that's exactly what you meant, Oh, I know that's not what you meant, because that's not what the fucking question was. Right? So that's two, right? If you can actually provide the value first up front before you ask anyone. So if you open with value, if you lead with value, what you can do for them, and you can actually like accomplish that, right? And provide that for them, then they'll be happy to get to know you afterwards. And the law of reciprocity states that they'll be actually eager to help you out with something at some point, or at least more likely, right? And the third reason why networking at the level you're at is kind of a waste of time is because if I'm not you specifically, Andre, right? This is just for everyone. If you don't really got it popping right now, right? Like if you don't got it popping at all, to get it popping a little, you can do it all on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like you can. He said he wanted to make 100K, right? That's $10,000. That's $8,000 a month. $8,000 a month. You can do that without meeting anyone, right? You can accomplish that with literally no one. You know what I'm saying? So you'll be going about it a ass backward ass way. And you'll be wasting more time that you could just spend working on yourself. Like getting 10K a month, man, is just learning a skill and then exchanging that skill for more money than it costs you to acquire it, right? Or it costs you to deliver it. And then learning marketing. I mean, you can get to fucking 8K a month by yourself in a room. You don't even have to go outside. Right? You can do it from your computer. There's like, I can think of tons of ways off the top of my head where you can get to 8K a month without having to meet anyone. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's what you're doing, Andre, but some people will use that networking as an excuse to make it look like they're really going after their goals when they're not. It's a way of being busy without being productive, right? So, in conclusion, what you want to do is understand that networking is a waste of time if you don't have value to provide to the people you're networking with. So you want to build your skill set and or resources that you can provide to the people you want to network with. Number two, you want to, once you have that skill set or resource, you want to lead with it. Lead with the value for them before you ask them anything. Then they'll be a lot more open. And number three, you should just know that you probably don't even need to do any of that to get to 100K a year. You know what I'm saying? Networking is really most valuable once you already got shit popping and you're working with other people who have it popping in a different vertical or a different field. And then that relationship is symbiotic and you might have some advantages or some resources that they don't have and vice versa. And then you can actually help each other. And it's an equal exchange. But if you're like going up trying to fucking take the value, that's acting futility. All right. What else we got? Is there anything else?
We have Dalton.
I think that was good. I think that's good. I think y'all should like the video for that. I think I just saved y'all a bunch of fucking time. You motherfuckers out here going to networking events. You poor. Stupid. I'm sorry. What's Dalton talking about?
Do you think there is an ideal workout schedule for building muscle? What's your opinion on an A-B split working out every day, every other day, to hit every muscle group every 4 days?
Everything works, bro. Everything works, man. Like literally everything works. You can just pick a random fucking I'll tell you, everything works. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to have the highest likelihood of something of success, then find something that's been proven, right? You know, find something that's been proven. Just fucking go on Amazon, type muscle building books, find the one with the most reviews. Like it really doesn't matter, because what I do on paper, it shouldn't work. I do full body workouts every day, and I've been doing that even before I was on TRT, right? I don't know that that's. I wouldn't advise anyone to do that, but it's clearly working. So I find it difficult to find a workout program that doesn't work. Seriously. Here's the thing though. Nothing will work if your diet's not right. See, diet is more important than training. I know that might sound like heresy, but diet is more important than training. I know this because I've like trained literally thousands of people. That's not exaggeration. That's not hyperbole. Thousands of people. And I've worked in gyms, some of the best gyms in North America. And I've seen people come in that same fucking gym for years and stay fat or not get bigger, right? And then I asked them what's going on. What's your diet like, man? They're like, oh, it's good. Well, you're not, wait a minute, you're not tracking your calories or your macronutrients? And they're like, no, man, I just kind of eat intuitively like a hoe. I just put anything in my mouth like a whore, you know? I don't even think about it. Whatever, I just put it in my mouth like some whore. And I'm like, oh, no wonder you're not making progress. Keep wasting your time every day in here, dumbass. Hope that was helpful. What else is there?
We have Ellie.
Big Ellie. They call me Big Ellie.
Yeah, Brandon, what are your thoughts on pursuing a trade? I'm thinking of doing electrical. Do you think this is a good idea, or there's better opportunities out there?
It really depends on what your goals are, Big Ellie. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's bad at all, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if you something like without electricians, none of us would be watching this shit, you know? So it's definitely good if you, if you want to get rich, that may not be the appropriate career path, at least starting out. But it's like at the same time, you got to start somewhere, right? You know what I'm saying? And judging from your profile pic, I can't really see, but you look like a small child. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. You know what I'm saying? So like maybe like if that's where you got to start, that's where you got to start. Everybody got to start somewhere. I was working in a fucking gymnasium training people, right? You know, so who am I to tell you not to follow your dreams of electricity? You know, but at some point, if you want to get rich, you're going to have to pursue something with a lot more leverage, but maybe you have to work up to that. And that's totally fine. If you're trying to get real money, Ellie, and presumably that's what you're trying to do if you're watching this, I think you should download my free Baller Mindset course, link in the description. It's 100% free. And I'll walk you down the path from becoming a broke motherfucker. I'm not saying you are broke. I don't even know you, right? From being a broke motherfucker to a rich motherfucker. How rich? Well, Richard Millie rich. Miami luxury penthouse rich. Big titty Spanish girlfriend rich. You know what I'm saying? You know, that kind of shit. I walk you down the path. You know what I'm saying? And it's 100% free, and it's better than almost every course on making money that you could buy, because I went into depth and I gave you actionable plan for each step, no matter where you are. It's like it wasn't like some shit to make you feel good. You're going to get that. You're going to feel good. You're going to feel great. Right. But you're going to learn something too. And you're going to have a fucking game plan, a roadmap, if you will. I think that's the best move for you, Big LA. What else we got?
Life of Dilu. What's good, Victory family?
What up?
Once I get consistent with working out and tracking my diet, what are some good supplements I can take to get to the next level?
Get to the next level, man. All right, I like it. Well, first of all, your diet's got to be on point. Do not take any supplements until your diet's on point. If you're not doing the diet shit, I tell you, if you're not tracking, don't take no supplements, man. You wasting money. Matter of fact, don't even work out. You wasting your time. Like, diet is the most important part. I'm telling you, life a Dilu. People were accusing me of being on steroids for like a decade, right? And I get it because I look the way I look. So I would see it. I understand. But those were the same motherfuckers who like don't track their diet every day, right? Like they can't. Like I'm walking around with a scale. You don't have to be as extreme as me, unless you're like a badass, right? But I'm walking around with a scale, a food scale, weighing everything I eat, scanning everything, you know, and making sure I hit my numbers and tracking it. And I've done that for over a decade. So of course I'm getting superior results, right? In fact, the results are so good, people accuse me of being on steroids for like a decade, even before I went on TRT, right? So that's the most important thing. I'm glad you prefaced this with that. You know, to help you hit your macros each day, I think protein, some sort of protein powder or drink is super critical to help you get the amount of protein you need, especially if you're cutting, because the easiest way to get protein but keep your calorie intake low is with some sort of protein powder, you know. And when I was broke, I'll be mixing up powder and shit. But now I just buy pre-made ones, Amazon, subscribe and save. That shit just shows up. It just shows. I'm not mixing up shit, doing dishes. I drink that shit, throw it away, back to the landfill with you. That's a problem for future generations now. But I'm not doing no dishes. My son's gonna figure out what to do with all that trash. My son and his kids, that's their problem. So protein shakes for sure. Creatine, I mean, I think creatine is super critical, you know, 5 to 10 grams a day. I hear people say 5 grams only, right? And I've been hearing that 5 grams. But does that think about this? Just think about it. If everybody's only supposed to take 5 grams, so the 110 pound guy and the 210 pound guy, we need the exact same amount of creatine, even though I have significant. Get the fuck out of here. Like this, that doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me, right? The way creatine works, interfaces with APT and muscle. Like if you have more muscle, it stands to reason you need more creatine. If you're a bigger person, it stands to reason you need more creatine, right? Like to say that there's one, it's fucking stupid. It's stupid as fuck. Hey, listen, Brandon Carter, King Keto, Gymnasium Jesus, take about 10 grams of creatine a day. I'm not telling you what to do, right? At least take 5. You know what I'm saying? I digress. Creatine's a good one. Some sort of multivitamin. And that's a good start, man. That's a good start. I like a caffeine supplement before I go to the gym. Sometimes I'll just take caffeine and just pill form. Or fucking, I got an espresso machine. Take about 6 shots of espresso, hit the gym. You know what I'm saying? That's not advice. It's what I do. I do a lot of shit you shouldn't do. I do a lot of shit you shouldn't do. But it works out right for me. All right. What else we got?
We got Natty Keto.
I like the name. I like everything about this guy. Pause.
Hi, Brandon. Much respect. You are a real G.
There's a lot of truth in that statement.
I used to be 230 pounds as a teenager. Now I'm ripped, but I don't know if I should target the overweight people or the want to get ripped people as a fitness trainer. Thank you ever so much.
No problem, man. All right. So he was overweight. If you have before and afters of you being overweight and you can start post those, like that's the one thing I wish I had, bro. I wish I had I ain't never been overweight. I never been out of shape. And I started working out before digital cameras were invented. Back in the Stone Age, you know, and I never had that before and after, right? So it's like I had to only post clients. Luckily, I had a lot of testimonies from clients and all that stuff. But if you got that testimony of you, boom, that before and after of you being overweight and now being ripped, and you tell some fucking fat motherfuckers that you can get them like you, no way they won't buy that, man. They'll be super excited to get that shit, bro. They'll be super excited to get that shit, you know? Even the people who aren't super fat will be like, damn, if this works for this fat little kid, he looks like this now. Well, I need some of that natty keto. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, man. He's keto. That's what's up, man. And repping it. There's a lot of guys are keto. The fucking internet scared them out of talking about it. Because I had to take all the arrows as a pioneer in the keto fitness space. Pioneers get the arrows, right? Fitness guys hate keto for whatever reason. They say it's all calories in, calories out. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't say it wasn't, man. I just like doing keto because carbs are for pussies. What else we got? I'm just playing. I just like keto. You can eat whatever you want. Pause. What else we got?
We got Gabe. I've been trading oil plus SPY for 2 years.
Okay.
Do you think it's something I should stick with it and try to do day trade as full-time income? I have a couple coaches.
And I would, you know what, Gabe? That's a risky proposition at best, right? You know, like that sounds dubious to say the least. I would say get together a track record, like a consistent track record of your trades. Excuse me. And if it's proven that you can make more from trading profit than your job, do that for 6 months straight, right? And at the same time, save that income. So I want you to have 6 months, because I want you to have 6 months of emergency cash, right? So if shit goes left, you know what I'm saying, and it's not working, then you got 6 months to get your shit together, to get a job, or so you're not out on the street. So it's not a fucking emergency. Like if you lose a bunch of money or shit's not working, right? So get a track record of you making more than what you make at your job for 6 months. Save that money, and that's going to be your safety net for when you go out on your own. All right. If you do that, if you can do that, then by all means, go for it. You know what I'm saying? And that's with anybody with any fucking side hustle they have, right? If you can you want 6 months of savings. 6 months of savings. You want to be able to cover your expenses for 6 months, give you enough time to bail yourself out. And the way you do that is to make as much or more than your income you make from your job for 6 months, right? Get a 6 months track record of making as much or more, save that income, and that's your safety net that you're going to use so you can actually move with more confidence. A lot of people tell you to just burn the boats, but I'm wholeheartedly against that strategy because it makes you desperate. You start acting in desperation. You want to be confident. Hey, shit's just going left. It's all good. I got this. You stay cool, calm, and collective. You know what I'm saying? I really like that. Hold on for a second, guys. We kind of run out of time and I lost track of time, but I just got reminded by 50 Cent that we have, real quick, we're going to do Baller of the Week. Matter of fact, pull it up. Baller of the Week. This week's Baller of the Week goes to someone who I've looked up to basically my whole life. First of all, what is Baller of the Week? Baller of the Week is the segment of the show where we recognize a member of the baller community and his outstanding achievements that he's accomplished in this week, right? It's been me like several weeks in a row. But this week, the honor is bestowed upon another member of the baller community. This is the homie, the big homie, 50 Cent. 50 Cent, ball of the week, because 50 Cent sold 1 million copies. 1 million tickets to his new tour, the Final Lap tour, man. He's out here crushing it. And let me show you something else. Right? And that's a lot of money. That's going to be a lot of money for 50 Cent. Now, in the New York show, he brought out the homie J. Cole. And J. Cole said this. Hold on. This is a video. I want to give a shout out. This is a video from the homie Diverse Mentality. He has an ill documentary on the making of 50 Cent's first album, Get Rich or Die Trying. It was first like studio album. I fucking was stuck at the airport for 12 hours and I watched that shit. It made the time go by a lot faster, man. It's a fantastic documentary. But anyway, this is what J. Cole had to say about 50.
Can I say this before I walk off the stage? If y'all don't make some noise for one of the greatest niggas to ever do this shit, 50 motherfucking Cent, Curtis Jackson. Get Rich or Die Trying, the best album of all time.
That's right.
What you talking about, nigga?
You know what I'm saying? He said 50. He said Get Rich or Die Trying, the best album of all time. And you know that's high praise. That's strong verbiage coming from J. Cole. J. Cole is like one of my favorite rappers. He's in my top 5. So to hear J. Cole say that, it means something. It holds weight. And here's what else Jermaine had to say about 50.
It's Get Rich or Die Trying at number 1, and it's Thriller at number 2. And I love Michael Jackson, but I promise y'all that Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, we love you, my nigga, for real. New York City, good night.
That's high praise. That's high praise coming from, in my opinion, one of the best rappers to ever do it, J. Cole. Saying 50 Cent, he said it was the best album of all time. After that, underneath that is fucking Michael Jackson Thriller, which is still the highest selling album of all time. Back when people actually had to go to the store and buy it. Thriller has some slaps on it. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? But that's high praise, man. So I got to get the ball of the week to 50 Cent. But last but not least, we're going to finish this episode up with the book of the week. To commemorate 50 Cent becoming ball of the week, this week's book of the week is a book that I read in 2009. And it came to me at a super pivotal time in my life. It was when I was working those 4 jobs I was talking about. It's right after my father killed himself, shot himself in the head. I had to work I was working 4 jobs to support myself, support the family. And I was attempting to start my business simultaneously. And this book actually helped me a lot with that because, I'll explain why. Hold on, let me get there. The book is, see if it comes up. The book is The 50th Law. Hold on. My fucking cards coming up. Iron Man shit. The 50th Law by 50 Cent and the homie Robert Greene. Right. And you can see, man, I bought this shit on my birthday. I bought this shit on my birthday, 2009. Like I'm telling you, I'm not fucking around. All right. And let me bring it up. Now, I lost my physical copy of it because that was a long time ago, right? But I still have it on my Kindle, both the audio version, and I also had the audio version too, right? But you can see, this book, this book really helped me during that time when I was embarking on a new chapter in my life and really struggling, like really going through the struggle. This book really helped me because the premise of this book is being fearless, right? Is overcoming your fear, right? Is acting in spite of your fear, right? And this book goes into great detail about how 50 Cent used 50 Cent's superpower was his ability to overcome fear. You know, when people were trying to kill him in New York, he still went after his goals. When he got shot 9 times, he still came out and went hard as hell. Came out. I mean, if you know the story, man, he came out with like the most epic mixtape run of all time. It's like it's hip hop history. If you watch the video, the documentary on 50 Cent's first album from my man Diverse Mentality on his YouTube page, if you weren't outside, you won't really get it. But he went on an independent mixtape run, the likes of which we had never seen. He kind of pioneered the whole artists making their own mixtape kind of thing. It's commonplace now, but 50 was the first one to do that. And because he couldn't get a record deal, he was blackballed by all the record labels. He had just got shot. People were scared of him. People were trying to kill him. And during that whole time, he was acting fearlessly by not hiding, actually being more present, more visible, really going hard, and then came out with what many believe is the best rap album of all time. J. Cole recently said it's the best album of all time. And so J. Cole put Give Her to Dr. Trying over Thriller, Michael Jackson's Thriller, right? And J. Cole's like one of my favorite rappers, like my top 5, top 3. And to hear him say that, you know, kind of validated the way I feel about the album as well. But none of that would happen if he wasn't able to conquer his fear, if he wasn't able to face his fear and fight it. And the beauty of this is 50 wrote this book with my friend and one of my favorite authors, the Honorable Robert Greene, right? And does he know I have interviews with Robert Greene on my page every time he comes a new book, man. He blesses me with an advanced copy signed. I think I've showcased it here before. I don't know if I ever told this to Robert or if I ever said this publicly, but I think this is Robert Greene's best book. I think it's better than The 48 Laws of Power. I think it's better than The Art of Seduction. I think it's better than the book on human nature. I think it's better than The Strategies of War. In large part because this book is the most concise, right? All of Robert's books are like this thick. They're like a Bible. They're like 2 Bibles slapped together. And they're packed full of knowledge and information. But this one is the only book that Robert ever wrote that was concise, and it made one point and it made it super well. And he just harped on it. So the examples from 50's life, but then Robert would also go into history. You know how Robert writes. He goes and finds other examples of other people who had to exhibit bravery and be courageous in face of fear, and how that worked to their advantage. And he gives examples, tons of examples throughout history. And it's very concise, right? It's not a short book, but compared to all of Robert's other books, it's super short. And I think it's Robert's best work. I honestly believe it's Robert's best work. And this book really, as you can see, I read this shit mid financial crisis on my birthday, man. It's when I bought it. And it just really helped me during that time. I'm gonna be honest with you. I read it, I listened to it, and it even looks like the Bible. It's funny, like the way I don't know how the books looks now, right? But the original copy, it was looked like the Bible. And it's just a fantastic book. Anyone who struggles with fear, doubt, uncertainty, they know they should do something, but they find it difficult to muster up the courage or the bravery to pursue that goal. I highly recommend this book. I mean, I highly recommend this book. It's I think I put it on my top 50 books. Pretty sure it's on the list of my top 50 books of all time. I'll put that video around here somewhere, maybe in the description, if you want to check that out. My top 50 books of all time. I'm pretty confident that book's on there. And if not, then that was a huge error on my part, a miscarriage of justice, an unusual error. by Brandon Carter, it definitely deserves a high spot on my top 50 books of all time. Not only because it's just so well written, but because it definitely personally had a huge impact on me. And I suggest you all read it. I think you all find it super helpful. And even if you don't like 50 Cent, Robert Greene is unequivocally one of the greatest authors of our generation. And I personally think it's his best book. And it's 50 Cent's best book too. All right, y'all. Peace.